Hey everybody. So I made it to the second bridge. On the way here, I caught a snake. Pretty sure 80% sure it was just a garter. But he was on the road, so I brought him down here to the river and let him loose. This is the second, well, close to the second bridge. I decided to come down here and try my luck. It's an old fishing spot me and my pap used to go to. We never really caught much. A couple little panfish, maybe a catfish here and there, but not a whole lot to be seen down here. But figured, it'd be something to do. This is tobacco, if anyone's wondering. Just rolling it in rolling papers because I'm poor. I did pretty much quit smoking, but then, life happens. So, anyways, on the way here, I saw the snake, caught him. I caught a couple salamanders down at the other part of the river. No crayfish. Now I don't think I'm gonna fish anymore. I might walk over to that spot and look around, but I don't think I'm actually gonna fish because it's really windy out, and salamanders are. I mean, if I had to rate bait on, like universal goodness, I'd rate salamanders probably about a 7 or an 8. Little frogs are probably a 9 or a 10. Hellgrammites are 9 or 10s. You got the worms that sit right at a 5 because they're good for everything, which is good and bad. Worms can be good for anything, and that's great, but then you can't catch a target species. Salamanders, they're good for pretty much anything, but bass love them. So bass ain't in season. Not that it matters. I'm not keeping any of the fish anyway. Catch and release today. Can't carry them home. I'll show off the hobo fishing reel. Well, I let this sit for a little bit. Actually, let's show off the salamanders first. I'm gonna let them loose because no point in killing them. I'm not gonna fish with them. These guys are big. I used the small one here because I figured it was my best chance of catching something. These guys are probably, the medium one's probably easily 8 times the mass of that little guy I have on there. I took him out in his prime. The best way to hook these guys, if you're wondering, is right behind the back legs. It tends to keep them on the hook, tends to keep them alive and moving. And you can't hook them in the tail because the tail will detach. The tail has the capability of detaching. So if you hook them in the front or the head or anything, you have a chance of puncturing an organ or something and killing it, and then you don't get the movement. But we're gonna release these guys. The one I have on there, he will die. But these guys can go back, and actually that big one might already be dead. When I grabbed him, he didn't move at all. But you got to be real quick with those guys because they're slippery little buggers. As far as wildlife is concerned, I did see the snake, the salamanders. There was a pair of toads down here. As far as toads go, they're pretty average in size. They weren't ginormous, they weren't really small. There's a hole over here that I walked past, and something like plopped inside of it, and I don't want to say it scared me. It made me look twice. This hole's been here for as long as I've been alive. But probably longer. I don't know what caused it or what made it, but something plopped down in there, and I was thinking about shoving my hand in there, but I figured, I may have a death wish. That's probably true, but I'm not stupid. If I want to die, I want to die. I don't want to lose a finger or, get bit by something that's going to incapacitate me. Like, there's some snakes that, to some people, they ain't poisonous, but they can still do a number on your inflammatory system and stuff. What's the other word I'm looking for? Inflammatory and The white blood cells, antibodies, the stuff that combats diseases. There's some things that can do bad stuff to that, but so I'm not going to take any chances like that. I mean, if it was a room full of TNT with a bunch of tripwires and someone said, "Hey, go ahead, see what's on the other side," I might give it a shot because I know I'm either gonna make it or I ain't. But I'm not gonna walk through a room full of razor wire to get to the other side just to have a bunch of cuts and bruises. You get what I'm saying? So, anyways, it casts okay. I'll explain a little bit about it. One other thing, I think over there, I think that's a boat. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I think that's a boat over there. Now, I would love to go over and see it. That's where they keep, like, turtle habitats to breed turtles to get, turtle population up down here. I would love to go over and see it, but the only way to get over there is there's a path in the woods there that you can take and climb down by that beautiful tree. There's one tree over there that's, like, really pretty compared to the rest of them. And then you can walk around, but the only way to really do that is to go the whole way around, or if you have like waders or something, because I'm not a pansy, I'll walk right in here. It's not that big of a deal. I've done it before, but I got another 6 hours of being out, and I don't want to do it with soaking wet feet. It's still kind of chilly out. I mean, right now it feels like, if it dropped another 10 degrees, it might be able to snow. I mean, it's a little chilly and it's windy. That's another reason I'm not going to be doing any more fishing, I think. The wind's throwing off my casts even more than I'm blaming poor technique. Here's my fishing kit. So, I took this, and I have a spice jar, a spice container, and I took a thread bobbin that was empty out of a sewing kit I was looking through whenever I was cleaning up my grandfather's stuff, and I put a bolt through the top, or through the bottom of this, through the top of this, and put a nut on it to hold it in place. And I wanted to, test it out. I figured this would be a good thing because it's pretty smooth. I might need to take like a really fine sandpaper to the very edge because the line seems to want to get caught a little bit, and any drag is gonna pull back your cast a little bit more on this because it's not a rod. I'm not gonna get 20 yards out there. I mean, I probably got probably my best was 2/3 of the way across this creek, and this creek's probably maybe 15 yards across. That might be a little generous, maybe 10. 10 to 12 yards across probably, and I probably got about 2/3 of the way with my best cast so far. So, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not winning any awards for longest cast, that's for sure. Now, if I drop this off a bridge, it'd be great, or anything like that, that'd be great, but to actually cast for distance, it's not going to be so great. Yeah, I think that big salamander's still chilling there, so I'm thinking I think he already died. That's kind of sad. I think he might have been dead when I picked him up. Or like in a catatonic state from still being kind of cold maybe. Because he wasn't too hard to catch. The other two were squirmy little buggers. But as far as the inside's concerned, I packed in there a plastic bag. And in the plastic bag I have a balloon with a pack of regular strike, you get with your cigarettes, kind of matches the 5-cent ones. And I cut the strike pad off and I put it in the balloon to keep for airtight dryness. I didn't tie the balloon because, well, I just didn't. I have 2 safety pins which are lined with swivels, and one's lined with swivels and one's lined with hooks. The hooks range from size like 4 to size like 8. I mean, I tried to get like a nice variety. When you're doing something like this, more or less, the smaller the hook, the better. A bigger hook isn't always the best thing to do. If you're going to catch for food, especially in a hobo fishing kit, you want to be able to catch anything, and a small hook can catch almost anything. The bigger the hook, certain fish can't fit in their mouth. It's harder to actually hook them, so it's always better to go with a smaller hook. I put a crayon in there for writing purposes, and wax is always a good thing. Like, crayon wax can burn. I can write with it. it's pretty versatile. I put a pair of nail clippers in there because it can clip the line, it can clip different things. It can just come in handy. They're a lot smaller than a pair of scissors, and they can do a lot of things. There's a stringer, a handful of barrel weights, and split shots. And I think that's about it. I put a couple curly tail grubs and a couple jig head hooks, and I put 2 spinner baits in there, which more than likely with this setup you will never use a spinner bait. I mean, it's not impossible. Like I said, if I went over to that tree and I threw it in, and then I let loose a bunch of line and I walked all the way over here and then worked my spinner bait down, it's possible. So I mean, I put them in there just in case. They're real nice. Well, they're cheapo Walmart brand, but I mean, as far as spinner baits are concerned, they're pretty nice. But that pretty much does that, I think. I did see a blue jay and a red-bellied, I think they're called red-bellied blackbirds. They're like blackbirds with like a real pronounced crimson red like feather pattern on their chest, which I haven't seen one of those in a while. But down here it's a little more isolated from people, so I mean, you can see a lot more interesting things. For some reason, there's a ton of birds out there just flying around. There's no way the camera will pick it up. They're too far out. But yeah, so I think I'll end this segment. I might head over to that spot. I can't get there from here. Once again, I need waders because, like, if I walk through there, the mud will come up to my knees. I've done it before. Like I said, I'm not really a pansy when it comes down to it, but you know, when I have a car or a motive or a way of transportation, it's all right. When I'm walking another, 3 hours, I'd rather not be weighed down with extra mud and water and stuff. So my bobber drifted in. It's all the way here now, which isn't that big of a deal. I mean, if you're gonna catch something, you're gonna catch something, but I like it to be in a little bit deeper of water. I mean, otherwise you're pretty much sight fishing. I know there's sunfish and bluegill in here. I did see a rather nice catfish once, and I would imagine a lot of the trout they stock make their way down here, but I wouldn't really put a lot of money on that. So I'll probably talk to you guys again maybe when I get to the pavilion, which is through those trees. It's probably another 30 or 40 minute walk. I'll probably go over there, roll up another smoke, sit and probably crack my first beer and look out over the water and contemplate why my life is the way it is and try to figure out if there's any way I can fix it or, get out of it. The funniest thing, I don't think there's whatever happened to my life. I don't think there's a way out. It's sad, right? Worst part is I didn't even do anything that terrible. I commit crimes on a pretty regular basis. According to state laws, I commit crimes on a pretty regular basis. But all the crimes I commit are pretty victimless. I'm talking like drinking in public. I don't hurt a soul. I don't go around causing trouble or looking for problems. I usually mind my own business. Walk my I was gonna say my goofy ass around, and then I kind of stop myself because of YouTube, but I don't get paid, so it doesn't really matter if I say ass. Plus, ass is a donkey, right? So I walk my goofy donkey through my town, and go home, lay in bed, watch YouTube videos. I mean, I don't hurt anybody, so they wanna lock me up for that. More power to them. I don't think they'll bother with me because I don't have anything left for them to take. So as long as I'm not punching in car windows or selling methamphetamines on the side of the road, I think I'll probably be left alone. But you never really know. Some people get a stick up their donkey, and then they decide that they're gonna take you for all you're worth and throw you in a cage. But actually I don't know. I'm mostly talking out my donkey. I don't know. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I think I'm gonna reel this bad boy in. I might give it one more toss out and wait for a couple of minutes, because I don't want to waste the salamander. I mean, I don't want to waste its life. I already hooked him, so he's probably gonna die. If I try to pull the hook out, it has a barb on the end, so it's not gonna come out easy. So he's probably gonna die either way. So might as well try to get a fish, so it's not completely worthless. I would have loved to take a photo. I tried to take a photo of the snake, but I didn't bring my camera stand, and I didn't want to get bit by the little bugger, so I didn't want to. I couldn't hold the camera and hold the snake, or get the camera out and set it up and hold the snake. So yeah, there's a. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a yellow canary in that tree. You probably can't. It's that little yellow dot, probably in about the center of the camera, hopping around that tree. Alright, so this video doesn't get too ridiculously long. Like I said, I don't even know if this will ever make it to YouTube. I'm hoping somebody will find this someday after I'm dead and gone and be like, wow, man, I can't believe how this guy tries to make lemonade out of lemons. I can't believe he'd go through all this just for a stupid video, or can't believe he finds enjoyment in taking a walk like this. Because walking out of here is going to be... I'm not too excited about it, but you know what? If I'm starting to head up the hill by 5 o'clock, I can make it back. Because of my probationary status, I can't be out past 9, which I'm not too worried about it, but my grandmother monitors everything I do, so if I walk in that house at 9:03, she's ready to call the sheriff. Well, probably not, but complain about it at least. I'm still dying to find out what she's getting out of all this. Like, I came back from my grandfather, and now he's gone. But I'm stuck here. I mean, where I was stuck. I had a job, but I was spending all my money on hotel rooms and stuff because I didn't have a place to live. So I mean, it put me in a interesting predicament, and I had the cops after me for various reasons. So when they caught up to me, pretty much I had two choices: stay out there and deal with it, or come back here and deal with it. And either way, I'm dealing with it. Oh well. Someday, maybe on my deathbed, they'll be like, hey, you know what? This is what happened, and this is why God, or whatever entity of choice you believe in, or the government, or aliens, or whoever's pulling the strings, decided you're not worthy to have a full life. Maybe someday somebody will tell me. Otherwise, I just got to keep on guessing. There he is. There's the red-winged blackbird. Can you see him? Oh, tell me you guys can see that. I mean, he's pretty close. I don't think I can zoom anymore. Now he's gone. They're red-winged blackbirds. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. It's something. That blackbird guy's red wings. But all right, I'm gonna check the time and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in probably a little bit longer. Whenever I'm getting out of here, unless I stop by the waterfall, I probably won't shoot another section of video because I'm gonna be fatigued from walking up the hill. Trust me, it's a doozy. So, but I might stop by the waterfall on the way out, depending on how much time I have. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Later on.